Well, I was at a get-together, you see, at the old college town I used to know so well, and I was only stopping by on my way to St. Petersburg from Edinburgh. It was my friend's ex-girlfriend's house that the get-together was at, and it was supposed to be formal, and everyone was supposed to bring something for it. A potluck, that's what they referred to it as. Anyways, I went inside and brought them some plum tea as my contribution to their evening's endeavors, whatever they may be. I asked the girl, my friend's ex-girlfriend, oh, by the way, my friend is on the balcony really not having a good time pacing back and forth. I say, hey, how does one acquire hot water in this place? I would like to make you the host tea for letting me join you guys and have a pit stop on my journey through. Oh, the tea is over there. I have a hot water boiler. Then I proceeded to go over to the kitchen and start to make tea. Meanwhile, there are a bunch of people around the entire penthouse conversing in suits and dresses. I continue on to make the tea standing over by the sink, washing the glass out, etc., and finally the water is at boiling temp. I take it off the hot water heater and pour the tea, and then go to find the host whom I had promised tea. I finally find her and say, hey, here is the tea, and hand her the tea. She places it on the table and says, oh, it is hot. I will leave it here to cool before I drink it, then wanders off. Then I walk out of the place and continue driving through the night. The fleeting glimpses of conscious awareness throughout the days kept me holding on to the desire for a range life, maybe in a state like Wyoming or Montana. If I could just settle down, I'd trade the life of constant transience and novelty that pulls me and grabs my attention for a stable existence in the country. Have some goats. Once I came across this old man in the mountains by the East Tennessee-North Carolina border. He was spreading out his solar panels out at this lake on top of the mountain. He says to me, I just got to catch that salmon and I'm set, as he started pulling out a tackle box and rod from the trunk of his green sedan. It was around late morning and the sun was beaming, which made this almost blinding line of light glistening across the lake when I looked at it. We stayed and shot the shit for a while, and I don't really recall what it was all about, but eventually we headed back to the campsite. I'll always remember that man. He was the one that inspired me to get the car I'm running around in now. Oh, the absurdity again. Surely there can be a proper explanation for all this. If one were to find what they desire, life would be simpler as to what one ought to do, to move towards fulfilling that desire. However, can one desire nothing? Must be what those monks are up to, desiring nothing, reaching nirvana. Well, if you desire nothing, then you do nothing as a result. What does one accomplish? I can sit and be a monk forever desiring nothing and still not accomplish anything at all. I saw a flickering light and wondered if it was a strobe light function or if the owner of the restaurant hadn't cared to put a new bulb in. I paid the check and left, trying to remember how long it was since I had last been that satisfied from a meal. Must have been ages. I got back into my car and headed for the outskirts of town.